Ah, wait. How did you know? Don't tell me that you already knew which flavor was in each box.
What? She was right about all of them?
That couldn't have been luck. How is this possible? I packed all those boxes this morning and they've been sealed ever since. You couldn't have known beforehand. Mind reading? X-ray vision? Or some kind of magic trick? This is way too freaky.
Tell us what's going on! Since when did you get superpowers? Traveler? Hey, what's going on? Did you see something? Us leaving Dunya's side without letting her know is kinda rude, you know.
Emerge. Right now. Emerge. Right here.
What are you looking... Traveler? That's...
Emerge.
Look! That's... Isn't that Dunyarzad? What's happening here? Why are there two Dunyarzads? You already know that this isn't your first Sub-Zero's festival, don't you? I'm sure you already know how to use this. A knowledge capsule? You should use it too, Paimon. You know Paimon? Well, this... What the... This is our 20th time at the Sub-Zero's festival? Huh? No. Have we been trapped in a single day? If it weren't for you, we wouldn't have even realized. What the heck was it? Your memories are still scrambled? Try your best to remember. This isn't the first time we've met, and I answered that question a long time ago. Let Paimon think. Your sense of date, it was as if a single sheet of paper was separating those memories from your consciousness. A familiar question. I think this is as you can see, that first Dunyarzad is in front of you right now, and she doesn't have a lot of time left. Looks like you're almost done sorting out your brain. Oh yeah, I'm Nahida. Good, you passed the test. What's happening? You can awaken our memories, and you seem like you know what's going on. Oh, wait, please don't tell Paimon even you don't know. Everything in this world runs in a loop. This cycle is called a samsara. You, me, and everyone else ask for the truth. I can only give you surface-level help, like bits of information.
She looks like she isn't doing well at all. Her illness gets worse after each Sub-Zero's festival.
If we can break out of this, but as things are right...
You sure love to use...
Okay, so, with what you know so far, what do you think the truth is?
We've already experienced the Sub-Zero's festival many times. That should be it. The flow of time is endlessly cycling within one single day.
A time loop. You've given similarly wrong answers in the past.
Still the wrong answer? Paimon thought that made a lot of sense. It feels like time's just repeating itself.
A simple time loop can't explain some of the phenomena. You two are still missing a lot of information. Unfortunately...
Dunyarzad!
The Sub-Zero's festival is happening every day, but that doesn't mean we can waste an infinite amount of them. Hurry and find the truth.
Let's think about our current situation. To save Dunyarzad, we have to escape the samsara of the Sub-Zero's festival. And to do that, we need to figure out what's happening. The truth. Nahida rejected the idea of a time loop, so we must have missed something, right? Paimon's memories say that we've already done this many times, but let's go talk to people.
Right here. Emerge. Right now. Emerge. Right here. Emerge.
Hey there!
Hey, it's you guys again. Where's your cultured friend?
She's feeling a little unwell.
I see. Did you come back to buy something? I guarantee that... Huh? What brought this about? I hurried back from...
To put it another way, if you really think about it, was yesterday truly yesterday? Did you actually come back from the forest yesterday?
What kind of philosophical nonsense is this? Are you two daydreaming? Didn't you know that no one dreams in Sumeru? Go somewhere else if you want to find someone to daydream with.
He actually has a point. Anyway...
Oh, it's you two. Was my divination so accurate that you felt compelled to compliment me in person? Ooh, I knew it! I told you, the god's divination is...
You're really excited.
Help you better...
So, you're
Anyway, what kind of situation did you get into? Huh? What you just said...
I knew you weren't going to believe it.
Marvelous. Truly marvelous.
When you say it like that, the divination...
I believe that the book only says...
So that's how it is. Looks like fortune-telling is just fortune-telling. It's no good for practical problems. We haven't made any progress. Who else can we talk to? Paimon remembers that we tried talking to her a couple of times, but she always thinks we're playing pranks on her. You think she'll brush us off again? Yeah, if we tap into at this time of day, Dia's probably just finished beating up those kidnappers. Let's go find her.
Right now, right here. Emerge.
I'm fine, my lady. It's just a scratch.
Perfect timing. Both of you are here.
Paimon, Traveler, you came at just the right time. Listen, there was a dangerous Huh? You saw? Then why didn't you jump in earlier? If someone was protecting Miss Dunyarzad, I could have went all out. Anyway, can you do something for me?
You want the Traveler to take Dunyarzad somewhere to rest up while you check to see if there's still any kidnappers around. Did Paimon get that right?
How did you know what I was going to say?
We need to say something convincing.
Dia sold her greatsword to raise additional funds. And then she was injured because she wasn't used to her new weapon.
Tell her, Traveler!
I didn't tell anyone about that. Including Miss Dunyarzad. You couldn't have known. And just now, you literally took the words right out of my mouth. What's going on?
All right, so this is the situation.
It's kinda hard to believe what you just told me. First, let me make something clear. Most of us desert dwellers might not be the scholarly type, but we do have basic common sense.
She's quieter than usual, uninterested in anything, and really gloomy.
Yeah, she isn't the same as before, but her parents said that this is how she was like at first.
Huh? At first?
I don't quite understand what you're all talking about. I'll go rest on the bench over there.
My lady, are you angry? All right, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt since you knew about my greatsword. Let's make this a quick trip. Miss Dunyarzad isn't completely safe here.
Personally, I think the idea of things staying the same forever is quite beautiful. But alas, that is simply not the way the world works. Traveling to other worlds is all that anyone seems to be writing about these days. Goodness knows what they find so disappointing about their own world. Most humans could have the entirety of their fleeting lives chronicled in but a few short lines. Their stories really make for terribly dull reading. Right now. Right here.
Nahida! We brought a friend! Are you busy?
I thought I told you that it won't help to bring anyone here.
We just wanted her to see the real Dunyarzad's condition.
The real Dunyarzad? Where and who are you talking to?
Huh?
Hold on. Over there. Is that?
Wow. How?
Miss Dunyarzad, she's lying down here, isn't she? How's she doing?
Her condition's really bad, and she's basically in a coma. How did you know she was here?
I can sense her aura. There are also lingering feelings of something like regret or disappointment. What happened?
Do you believe us now? The Sub-Zero's festival has been repeating itself. So, you think the sages are behind this?
Yeah, they've always been against us. Wouldn't surprise me.
You have a point. Aside from maybe there's more to the Akasha than we know. Right! Didn't you awaken our
The Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to
A gnosis could do that?
So, this
She said, and Paimon quotes,
compiles the wisdom of the entire populace and grants knowledge to the people. Wait. I get the grants knowledge part.
Did she mean that the sages enter new knowledge into the Akasha? Oh, yeah. That sounds about right. What do you...
Okay, Nahida said, the Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate, as it is the manifestation of the God of Wisdom's power. It compiles the wisdom of the entire populace, and it grants knowledge... That doesn't sound right. I need to carefully think things through. My mind feels exhausting.
You mean the Akasha is causing our mental fatigue? Huh. Now that I think about it, my head's been feeling unusually heavy. When the desert dwellers set off on their quest for knowledge, a sage once said, knowledge always comes at a price. Compiling the entire country's knowledge. You think the Akasha pulled a 180 and is extracting information from us? Who knows? The Akasha can put knowledge into our heads, so who's to say that it can't also poke around in there? We don't know any specifics.
What's the point of doing something like that?
Just think about it. If you could combine the knowledge of every single person in Sumeru, then you can basically turn Sumeru City into a single massive brain. This hive mind could make breakthroughs in problems that
An excellent deduction. In that case, we should take off our Akasha terminals right away. Maybe that'll solve this problem.
Yeah.
How does everyone feel? Huh? What is it? Oh, that! Paimon knows what you're talking about. It's a single soft beep that sounds like it's coming from the Akasha terminal.
The sound of a beep. Could it be a prompt tone for when the Akasha is operating?
That's probably an important clue. We weren't using our terminals, but we heard a beep anyway. Traveler, did you hear that?
I heard it too. Our ears aren't messing with us. There was definitely a beep, but it sounded like it was coming from inside my head. We took off our Akasha terminals.
Phase runtime has exceeded its expected length. At this rate, there may be casualties.
But we cannot lose all of our progress.
Paimon remembers everything! Good. You adapted quickly this time. We definitely took off our Akasha terminals last night, but we still heard that beep. Why is that? Oh, Paimon doesn't... It's extremely difficult. If we're lab rats, then what are you? Nahida, you've never told us anything about yourself. At the moon? Wasn't that the result of our divination? Anyway, knowing who I am won't help you get closer to the truth, so you should focus on other things. Don't get distracted and miss any clues. Okay then. Deja helped us a lot yesterday, so let's go find her. If Paimon's reading the time correctly, those kidnappers should be showing up soon.
Ah, there you are. I've already taken care of those kidnappers. My lady, did you get hurt?
Deja?
What's wrong? Why are you both gawking at me like that?
You didn't get hurt this time.
Huh? What do you mean this time? Why are you so surprised that I managed to get out unscathed? Those kids were amateurs. Shh! How did you know about my greatsword? I haven't told anyone about it. Please, don't tell Miss Dunyarzad.
So Deja's lost her memories after all.
Anything strange? You already know that I got a new greatsword. If I had to say something, it's weird how such a new weapon could feel so familiar. It's as if I've already used it to fight a countless number of battles.
You're saying that although you don't remember using it, your body feels like it does?
That's right. Both mercenaries and warriors heavily rely on muscle memory. Only knowing the theory of battle won't get you anywhere.
Traveler, what do you think? Yeah, Paimon's feeling really hopeful. Oh, you're right! Earlier in the Samsara, something like this would have never happened.
I have no clue what you two are talking about, but it's still dangerous here, so...
So you want us to take Dunyarzad somewhere else to rest while you check if there are still more...
How did you know what I was gonna say?
Forget it. Go and do your thing. Whew, it's finally nighttime. Listen, Nahida, we found out that Dia got out just fine today, even though she got injured every other time she fought the kidnappers. Do you think the Samsara has been broken? Have we saved
Really? Good job on all that progress. Get some good sleep tonight.
Hey, what kind of an answer is that?
Tomorrow will come. Everyone assumes this is common knowledge. How many todays has it been? Is it possible that today will be followed by yesterday? Does tomorrow truly exist as anything beyond a made-up concept? It's even possible that this entire world is a lie, and the history of the whole...
Okay, no more.
That's why it makes no sense to waste your energy thinking about things you will learn tomorrow. Get some good rest. You know, use the bathroom and flush your anxiety dookie away.
Huh? Hold on, what did you just say? Did Paimon hear you correctly?
Huh? People always say they feel a sense of relief after they take a duk-duk. That's why I suggested you could try that. Is that so strange?
It's so strange and so against common sense that Paimon's at a loss for words. You were sounding kind of smart just a minute ago. Yeah, even though it's happy and lively at the Sub-Zero's festival every day, it feels like it's been a long time since we've really gotten to relax.
Continue the harvest, compared to what we stand to achieve.
We're still in the same day. Nahida, you already knew last night that we didn't break out of the Samsara? Why did you tell us?
Would there have been a point? You would have spent the night with new worries, with tomorrow still out of reach. In that case, you might as well rest within that brief moment of hope. An opportunity like that doesn't come by often, and I thought it might help you clear your minds.
Paimon thought that Duke did that! Whatever.
Of course. In the time we've been together, you two have been everything to me.
Paimon's flattered and everything, but maybe you're taking things a little fast.
What I mean is, even though I had asked you to solve this puzzle, you two are still the only ones who can see me and sense my presence. In other words, if you weren't here, I may as well not exist. That's why you two have been everything to me. Get it?
Nahida's talking about confusing stuff again.
Anyway, that's enough chit-chat. So, Traveler, did the new clues yesterday help you gain a new understanding of the situation?
Gnosis?
The moon, illusions, and lies. What do they all mean? Okay, Nahida said that doesn't sound right. Mercenaries rely heavily. If all our memories of a day are erased at the end of that day, we've already experienced the Sub-Zeru's festival many times, and the day... We've already experienced the Sub-Zeru's festival many times, and the day of the festival seems to be in a perpetual samsara. We've already experienced the Sub-Zeru's festival many times, and the day of the festival seems to be in a perpetual samsara. If all our memories of... If all our
Oh! Then the beep we hear every night could just be indicating the deletion of our memories! That's why when we wake up, everyone thinks the Sub-Zeru's festival hasn't happened yet! It's already the next day, but everyone still thinks it's the day before! But muscle memory can't be erased. That's why Deja has been getting better at using her greatsword. Now everything makes sense! A brilliant deduction. Nahida, tell us... To put it simply, it's as if you've mistaken a pyro crystal fly for a firefly in the night. You lost sight of its true nature because you focused too much on your perception that it glows. That isn't simple at all! Why don't you go talk to Miss Deja again? You might learn something new. Right! She did help us find our latest clue after all. Let's go!
Right now. Right here. Right now. Emerge.
There you are. Really took me a while to find you.
As expected, Deja also didn't get hurt today.
Get hurt? Why would I? Don't underestimate me.
Well, you're still getting used to your new greatsword.
Huh. Truth be told, I also think it's pretty strange. It just suddenly felt so familiar in my hands and... wait a second! How did you know I got a new greatsword to begin with? I didn't tell anyone about it.
Traveler, could you explain the situation to her today? Paimon's got... Oh, that works!
What happened to you guys while I was gone? Did you get brainwashed by some cult?
Don't think too hard about it. Just take what we're saying.
Alright then, let me get this straight. You're telling me that my body's already gotten used to this greatsword, but my brain just doesn't remember it?
Yes, your memory's being erased every day.
Then I'd have to disagree. That's impossible.
Oh? Why do you think that?
If we've actually been reliving the Sub-Zeru's festival day after day, then what happened to the things we used, the money we spent, the food we ate? Common sense says my wallet should have emptied itself a long time ago.
Right! They could use the Akasha to record what everyone did that. It's not very likely, but it's also not impossible.
No, it is impossible. I've got proof.
You have proof? Where?
You two are surprisingly serious about this nonsensical discussion. Fine, I'll play along for a little longer. Come with me, Miss Dunyarzad. Please come along as well.
Paimon can't believe it's Deja who wants to show us something this time. 2 days ago, we were the ones taking her to see Dunyarzad.
Right here. Emerge. Right here. Emerge.
This is it.
Huh? This is a wooden training dummy. What about it?
See those marks on the dummy? Those are the result of several days. Let's say the sages didn't replace it every day. Shouldn't it be hacked to pieces by now?
That's true, but what if they did?
Then the sages would have had to reproduce every mark I left during previous training sessions. I'm a professional fighter. My martial school has always emphasized the importance of refined control. The force, angle, and entry point of each strike is calculated and deliberate. That's why I remember every mark on the dummy, as well as my state of mind as I made each strike. It's just as they say, each swordsman has their own unique style, and even the same swordsman—
Is it really impossible? What if they used some fancy machine to carve every single mark?
People often say that a camera's photo can never replace an artist's painting because the former has no spirit to it. The same thing applies here. At a mere glance, I can differentiate carved marks from the results of combat training. Whew, I hope that cleared things up for you. Hey, is this that new brain exercise game that's been super popular with the scholars lately? It's surprisingly fun. Anyway, it's getting late. I should escort Miss Dunyarzad to Nilu's stage. See you later.
Well, back to square one. Is there— But at least we've reached some other conclusions in the meantime. Yep, that's true. Strange? Paimon feels like everything's been strange lately. Huh? Leaving the city? You're right! It's really strange how we never thought of such a simple solution! Many things should become clear if we can confirm the flow of time outside of the city. Paimon can't believe it! How about we go back and ask Nahida? Maybe we've forgotten something about—
Personally, I think the idea of things staying the same forever is quite beautiful. But alas, that is simply not the way the world works.
Nahida! We're back!
You're back early today. Did you find something new?
Sort of. We're mostly sure now that we're not in a time loop.
Leaving the city. As far as I remember, you've mentioned your plans to do that twice before.
We did? But we don't remember anything. What happened after we talked about those plans? What did we say when we got back?
Let me think. I don't think you ever actually told me what the outcome was. Oh, it's probably more accurate to say that both times you never came back the whole night. But you two sometimes stay out the entire night anyway, so at the time, I didn't think too much about it.
It is true that sometimes we lose track of time during our investigations. Before we know it, it'll already be the next day. But still, neither of us remember anything about leaving town.
Really? That's kinda strange. In theory, I should have already awakened all your memories.
Yep, something here's definitely fishy. Let's get to the bottom of this tomorrow. Our memories are back! About that. Well, where should Paimon begin?
Traveler, aside from your memories that were just restored, I have another message for you. Listen to it and you'll understand.
Can't go back. There are countless spaces here. Our Sub-Zero's festival in Sumeru City is just one of them.
Traveler, you should be missing 2 days' worth of memories. Paimon will fill you in. It's time to carry out our plan from yesterday. Okay.
Right now. Right here. Right now.
Why can't we leave the city? What is the academia up to now?
Don't ask me. It's not like I can tell you anything. This is...
I have a real...
That's your problem.
But it's not like you can just predict business matters in advance.
It looks like the Academia already announced a lockdown for Sumeru City today. Let's go and question them. Hello, sir. Why can't we leave the city today?
Here we go again. Don't ask. We just received an order that no one is allowed to... Angering me won't get you anywhere. If I had that kind of insider info, I would have left this stupid post.
It looks like he really doesn't know. If we can't get anything out of him, let's take matters into our own hands. Why don't we climb over the walls? Those guards can't be everywhere at once. This is a good spot, and the guard hasn't known... Huh? Why? Are you going to leave Paimon behind? But... Oh... Paimon knows that Paimon can't do much, but... We've always been together. Okay. Promise Paimon that you'll come back as soon as possible. And... memories! Traveler! Paimon thought Paimon would never see you again! Paimon waited for you for hours and hours at the city wall and you never came back! You promised Paimon that you were only taking a quick look!
Paimon, calm down. She's here now. I don't think she understood what you were saying.
Paimon doesn't care! Paimon wanted to go look for you, but you also said that Paimon should stay! Paimon was so worried and so scared the entire day! will forgive you. The most important thing is that you didn't actually disappear. Oh, Paimon was so scared that you had gone into another...
Okay, Paimon, can you tell us your perspective of what really happened yesterday? I see. Using two people's different perspectives.
After that, you left the city. Paimon kept her eyes on you the whole time, but then you... disappeared in an instant. No way! Paimon was watching you with the fullest attention.
What's your perspective, Traveler? You sure you don't have any memory of this? I guess that explains everything. You also lost your memories the last 2 times you tried to leave the city. Those days' memories can't be awoken.
So, if we leave the city, our memories will be completely erased? It really sounds like something big outside of the city is being hidden on purpose. But this way, we'll also never discover what's outside! Something like a message? But how can we send it back?
Don't look at me like that. I'm not used to being stared at. Well... Okay. You want something that can pass on messages, right? Give me some time and take care of Dunyarzad for me.
Yep! Now we're talking!
I'm done. Here you go.
What? Isn't this just an Akasha terminal?
I made some little changes. Akasha terminals are already capable of sending messages. I just tweaked it so that it could connect to any node.
To make something like this? Nahida, you really know the Akasha like the back of your hand. Anyway, we can use this now to record a message, right?
Yep. I'll help you save the messages. It should be pretty easy to use.
We'll never know until we try. Let's go then. Let's expose those sages! Alright. Paimon isn't as worried about being separated since it happened once yesterday. But Paimon still isn't happy about it. Okay, see you tomorrow, Traveler! That covers everything that's happened so far.
Yes, although the...
Okay, now that you understand what's going on, let's hear the messages together.
Can't go back. There are countless spaces here. Our Sub-Zero's festival in Sumeru City is just one of them. I've entered another space. Before me are flowing sandstone and howling fish. Impossible and surreal sights. All these spaces are empty, except for the occasional ones that contain mute puppets rather than people. I can't sense any human presence.
That's one heck of an info dump. It sounds like you left the Sumeru city space when you set foot outside of the walls. But everything looked completely normal when Paimon was looking out from the inside. That's unbelievable. And if we take your word for it, the other spaces all had very weird contents.
There's another part here. We only received it last night.
These spaces have been disappearing, one after the other, absorbed by something like a sun in the sky. And now, even the final space has also disappeared. Behind me, a lot of spaces just appeared again from thin air. I get it now. Those spaces are actually...
Why did the message end right there? What did the Traveler want to say?
Probably because yesterday just happened to end at that moment.
Oh, right. Paimon did hear a beep from the Akasha. Did it come from here or from the message?
The message. It should have come from the Traveler's Akasha terminal.
After the beep, Traveler said even the final space has also disappeared.
Traveler, what do you think that final space could have been?
All the bizarre spaces I saw outside the city had one thing in common. A lack of human presence. That doesn't sound right. Was that space actually the real world? That doesn't... My impression...
Oh, so that's what it is! After the sound of the beep, the final space, the Sub-Zero's festival, also disappears, and we're taken to the next day. Later on, Traveler also mentioned a bunch of new spaces materializing behind them. Do lots of new spaces appear every day? Paimon's head is spinning. Just what are these spaces anyhow?
Well, consider this. For all the horrors of the Archon War, at its heart, it was just a game where a bunch of gods fought over 7 seats. So no matter how strange or spooky things may look on the surface, maybe all they point to in the end is a small and simple secret.
Wow, the Archon War, huh? That's an analogy and a half. Hey, where are you going? Do you want some alone time to think? All right then, Paimon won't disturb you.
The dance of Sub-Zeros is about to begin. I'm going to go watch it.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead, Dunyarzad? We still have some other stuff to do first.
Okay then. See you later.
Have you figured it out yet, Traveler? Time is ticking away! Awesome! What is it? Paimon wants to know! Oh, wait, no. Let's meet up with Nahida first. You can tell us both together. This time, we're gonna get to the truth!
Right here. Right now. Huh? Huh? Right here.
You're back! I've been waiting forever for you two. Judging by the looks on your faces, are you ready to take your Sub-Zero's exam and graduate from the festival? Okay.
People in Sumeru... I can't seem... I can't... We've already experienced... That doesn't sound right. Okay, Nahida said, the Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate. That doesn't sound right. All the those spaces remind... The moon We are all...
People in Sumeru think they don't dream, but the truth is the Akasha steals their dreams without them knowing it. And those spaces with no human presence are stolen dreams without their host. That would explain why they sounded so weird. Huh. So people in Sumeru... Correct answer. Now, how did you conclude that the Akasha is capable of this? It compiles the wisdom of the entire populace. It
compiles the wisdom of the entire populace. And it grants knowledge. The Akasha It is the manifest.
Oh, okay. But is stealing every...
Dreams are fantastical, complex, and full of imagination. People's brains are the most active when they're dreaming. In other words, dreams are rich bundles of human wisdom.
So, in other words, Paimon remembers her saying that the sages think dreams are foolish. The real story is that the sages from the academia are...
Oh? By the sounds of it, you understand the current situation pretty well. So then, what about the samsara?
The beep is a prompt tone for Akasha operation. Those dreamscapes kept... Grand Sage said... My mind... We've already experienced...
Correct. The Akasha is keeping each person's brain in a constant dream state, but also separating their consciousness from their own. Their disembodied consciousness is placed inside the collective dream of the Sub-Zero's festival, along with no one is any the wiser as people wake up to...
So, this is like a dream factory, and
Very good, Paimon.
Okay, so that beep we keep hearing is actually from our real life...
Alright, last question.
They say that alchemical divination is the dead... Now... That doesn't...
So you noticed. I thought that woman...
Now that you mention it, Nahida, you've been hinting to us since the very beginning. It's funny, thinking back to when we were asking all over the place for info about Lesser Lord Kusanali. Paimon didn't expect to meet you like this.
Yes, those can wait until we're back in real life. On the other hand, I'd be happy to answer any more questions you have about here and now. You asked me this question before. My answer was, it would literally blow your minds. Now that you know this is all a dream, this answer should... Have you heard the saying, don't wake a sleepwalker? Likewise, if someone suddenly... Your notion of reality and dream would be thrown into irreversible confusion. That's why I could only give you very subtle hints and some suggestions. Long story short... You asked me this question before. Now that you know this is all a dream, this answer should hopefully make more sense. Have you heard the saying, don't wake a sleepwalker? Likewise, if someone suddenly had told you all this, instead of you learning it, your notion of reality and dream would be thrown into irreversible confusion. I couldn't expose you to that kind of risk. That's why I could only give you very subtle hints and some suggestions. Long story short, I'm really sorry I had to keep you guessing. You asked me this question before. My answer... Now that you know this is all... Have you heard the saying, don't wake a sleepwalker? Likewise, if someone suddenly had told you all this, instead of you learning it on your own, your notion of reality and dream would be thrown into irreversible confusion. I couldn't expose you to that kind of risk. That's why I could only give you very subtle hints and some suggestions. Long story short... You asked me this question before. My answer was, it would literally blow your minds. Now that you know this is all a dream, this answer should hopefully make more sense. Have you heard the saying, don't wake a sleepwalker? Likewise, your notion of reality and dream would be... That's why I could only give you very subtle hints and some suggestions. Long story short, I'm really sorry I had to keep you guessing. You asked me this question before. My answer was, it would literally blow your minds.
Now that you know this is all a dream, this answer should hopefully make more sense. Have you heard the saying, "Don't wake a sleepwalker"? Likewise, if someone suddenly had told you all this instead of you learning it on your own, your notion of reality and dream would be thrown into irreversible confusion. I couldn't expose you to that kind of risk. That's why I could only give you very subtle hints and some suggestions. Long story short, I'm really sorry I had to keep you guessing. You asked me this question before. My answer was, it would literally blow your minds. Now that you know this is all a dream, this answer should hopefully make more sense. Have you heard the saying, "Don't wake a sleepwalker"? Likewise, if someone suddenly had told you all this, your notion of reality and dream would be thrown into irreversible confusion. I couldn't expose you to that kind of risk. That's why I could only give you very subtle hints and some suggestions. You asked me this question before. My answer was, it would literally blow your minds. Now that you know this is all a dream, have you heard the saying, "Don't wake a sleepwalker"? Likewise, if someone suddenly... your notion of reality and dream would be thrown into irreversible confusion. I couldn't expose you to that kind of risk. That's why I could only give you very subtle hints and some suggestions. Long story short, I'm really sorry I had to keep you guessing. You asked me this question before. My answer, now that you know this is all... have you heard the saying, "Don't wake a sleepwalker"? Likewise, if someone suddenly had told you all this, your notion of reality and dream would be thrown into irreversible confusion. I couldn't expose you to that kind of risk. That's why I could only give you very subtle hints and some suggestions. You asked me this question before. My answer was, it would now that you know this is all a dream, this answer... have you heard the saying, "Don't wake a sleepwalker"? Likewise, if someone suddenly... your notion of reality... that's why I could only give you very subtle... You asked me, now that you know that... have you heard the saying, "Don't wake a sleepwalker"? Your notion of reality and... that's why I could only give you very subtle hints and some suggestions. You asked me this question before. Now that you know this is all a... have you heard the saying, "Don't wake a sleepwalker"? Your notion of reality and dream would be... that's why I could only give you very... You asked me this question before. Now that you know that... have you heard the saying, "Don't wake a sleepwalker"? Your notion of reality and dream would be thrown into irreversible confusion. That's why I could only give you very subtle hints and some suggestions. Long story short, I'm really... You asked me this question before. My answer was, it would literally blow your mind. Now that you know this is all a dream, this answer should have you heard the saying, "Don't wake a sleepwalker"? Likewise, if your notion of reality and dream would be thrown into irreversible confusion, I couldn't expose you to that kind of risk. That's why I could only give you very subtle hints and some suggestions. Long story short, I'm really sorry I had to keep you guessing. You asked me this question. Now that you know... have you heard the saying, "Don't wake a sleepwalker"? Likewise, your notion of reality and dream would be... that's why I could only give you... You asked me this... now that you know... have you heard the saying, "Don't wake a sleepwalker"? Your notion of reality... that's why I could only give you... You asked me this... now that you know... have you heard the saying, "Don't wake a sleepwalker"? Your notion of reality and dream would be thrown into irreversible confusion. That's why I could only give you very subtle hints. You asked me this question. Now that you know that... have you heard the saying, "Don't wake a sleepwalker"? Likewise, your notion of reality... that's why I could only give you... You asked me this question before. My answer was, it would... now that you know this is all a dream, this... have you heard the saying, "Don't wake a sleepwalker"? Likewise, if someone suddenly... your notion of reality and dream... that's why I could only give you... You asked me this... now that you know this... have you heard the saying, "Don't wake a sleepwalker"? Your notion of reality... that's why I could only give you very... You asked me this question before. My answer, now that you know this is all... Have you heard the saying, don't wake a sleepwalker? Your notion of reality, that's why I could only give you You asked me that, now that you know this is all a... Have you heard the saying, don't wake a sleepwalker? Your notion of reality, that's why I could only give you very subtle hints and some suggestions. Long story short, I'm really sorry I had to keep you guessing. You asked me this question, now that you know that... Have you heard the saying, don't wake a sleepwalker? Your notion of reality and dream... That's why I could only give you very subtle hints and some suggestions. Long story short, I'm really sorry I had to keep you guessing. You asked me, now that you know that... Have you heard the saying, don't wake a sleepwalker? Like what? Your notion of reality? That's why I could only give you... Deceiving the after we end the Sub-Zeros.
How can this...
In the end, I'm just the moon.
A sun and a... Oh, we're out of time?
I'll tell you how to break free of the samsara tomorrow.
Good morning, Nahida. Wait. Now that Paimon... Hey! What's wrong, Nahida? You don't look too good.
I'm afraid that what you're thinking right now is correct. The real Dunyarzad's consciousness has indeed disappeared. It can no longer endure the constant dream harvesting. She's actually the real Dunyarzad, so another Dunyarzad.
But personality-wise, she's not...
Puppets are stiff. And speaking of which, the old
Dunyarzad...
Yes. I just gave her a little wisdom so she could look at life in a new way. So that she could be her own person. But even so, she's still... Far from it. I'm still a long way off from being a real... I couldn't even save her. If I were a competent Archon, I wouldn't have let my most faithful follower die.
Please don't beat yourself up over it, Nahida. It's the Sage's fault, and theirs alone.
I'm not beating myself up. All I did was to rationally observe the distance.
Don't be like that.
To prevent more
Great, but how do we do that?
Although the Sub-Zero's festival dream is under the Akasha's control, only humans can dream. Even the Akasha is unable to create them. That means this dream belongs to a host who created it.
Huh? So, how should we find that person?
Well, if this is someone's dream, then everything here must come from deep within their consciousness. Which means, with the power of imagination, they can change anything in this dream.
Imagination? What do you mean by that?
Imagination means breaking through what you perceive as normal. Like when the server at the tavern brings a plate to you, you'd naturally assume that food is on it. However, if you're the dream's host and you become aware that you're dreaming, when you imagine gold and more on the plate, the dream will respond in kind, and the server really will bring you gold and mora. But right now, our host is unaware that this is a dream. No matter how many times they're served, it will always be food. Find some...
How are we going... And even if we... After all, like you...
It's extremely difficult, yes. But the only ones who can do it are you two. Remember, everything you've achieved up to this point has all been for the sake of finding the host and ending the samsara. As for me, during this time, I'll be out of town.
Out of town? Are you going to that place full of dreams where the Traveler went?
Yes. I want to try something. There must still be a small wisp of possibility. Hurry and go. Dreams are supposed to be fantastical, romantic, and full of pleasant surprises. Unnecessary things like this samsara need to end.
Paimon's still a little upset that we've come this far only for Dunyarzad to... She was such a good person, with such a simple wish. But fate... Yeah. Saving Dunyarzad is what kept us going this whole time. But we mustn't lose hope, Traveler. Dunyarzad would definitely want to see us save everyone else. So let's break the samsara for her sake. Paimon's wondering, do you think the sages would get one of their own to be the host of this stream? Feels like it would be easier to control it that way, no?